21 Club, New York's most iconic restaurant. And with me now is Gordon. Gordon, great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Now, before we kick off about the movies that are happening this weekend, I want to talk about the 21 Club in its essence, because this is where some of the most iconic movies have been made.
Yes.
This is where Wall Street was filmed.
That's right, yeah, there's the scene with Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen where pretty much he sort of introduces him to the world of hedge funding and all of that what goes on. So there's quite a significant scene, and people might remember, see the bell there in the background? That was also featured. So yeah, this is the booth. And so a lot of big famous people have dined here over the years.
Frank Sinatra. I mean, the Clintons were in last week, Whoopi Goldberg. The list is endless. Joaquin Phoenix. This is an amazing
Someone might make a cameo now in a minute. Who knows?
Who knows? Absolutely brilliant. And so let's kick off with what's kind of in cinemas at the moment. Tell me more. I'm interested.
Okay, so Vice is out this weekend, and ironically enough, Vice had its wrap party here in the 21 Club. So Adam McKay, the writer-director, was here. So this film is all about Dick Cheney, and Adam McKay, the director, has had a bit of a reboot in his career because he started out working with Will Ferrell, you know, on big films like Anchorman being one of his best, Talladega Nights, Step Brothers. But he's always had quite a political, he's been a political satirist really at heart. So The Big Short was a film that really kind of just changed his career. He won an Oscar for the screenplay, and now he's back with Vice. And the film itself, it's really lampooning the former Vice President Dick Cheney. Christian Bale, it just talk about immersing yourself in the role. So unfortunately, the one thing I would say is it's not necessarily the Dr. Strangelove people might be expecting. There's a lot of humour that just does not land, unfortunately, and the best way to say it, it's quite clunky at times. So
really?
Yeah, as a film, I was really hoping for an awful lot more, and I just didn't get it. But performances are strong. But the film does have its moments, but unfortunately, you just wish, Adam, stop just trying to reach for it, like there's some of the broad kind of humour at times that just, as I say, just doesn't land.
Okay, fantastic. What else is out?
So The Mule, Clint Eastwood. Here's a man that, he's 88, and he has to be the busiest man in Hollywood, but he shows no signs of slowing down. But The Mule, anyway, he's working again with his screenwriter of Gran Torino, and I have to say this is a return to form, because over the last few years for Clint, it's all been about quantity over quality. So this story is based on actually a true story of a 90-year-old man who was a drug mule for a Mexican cartel, and in a way the film is about this elderly man who has sort of he's almost kind of pushed his family to the side in order to pursue his own interests. And I wonder deep down, is Clint trying to say something about his own career and how he's handled his own family?
Really?
If we were to dig a little bit deeper, is this Clint almost apologising in a weird way?
Is this going to be his last film? No?
Not with that fella. He'll keep going until they have to, cart him off. No, I think we'll still see a few more from Clint.
Oh, please, I love Clint Eastwood. And of course, there's another movie out.
Yeah, well...
Let's talk about it.
Well, it's the second act starring Jennifer Lopez. I really do think, she is one of the worst things to hit cinema. So it's the second act. So this is kind of her working girl style movie whereby she gets passed over in a job in a supermarket and decides, well, you know what, to hell with you, I'm going to go off and follow my own path. So her best friend's son rejigs her CV and completely lies on it. She ends up getting a job working for a cosmetics company, and it's at the beginning you think it's great, it's all about female empowerment, the humour's quite broad, it's not great, but then it takes a bit of a twist at the midway point and goes down a bit of a darker territory where you kind of go, really, did it need to go down that way? But anyway, it's a bit of an endurance test. It did not work for me at all. And if anyone is a fan of Jennifer Lopez, listen, she's trudging at the same old tripe.
Okay, now of course she's made some absolute turkeys. Let's talk about those.
Yeah, just very quickly, here are my top 5 worst Jennifer Lopez films. Like, you could pretty much go through all of them. Made in Manhattan being one of the absolute...
I know, I liked that.
Did you really? That Cinderella tale. Well, Ray finds that he was more interested in what was written on the check as opposed to the script. The Wedding Planner with Matthew McConaughey, that was awful. Did anyone really like that? She falls in love with the groom she's trying to plan his wedding for. That's a rom-com. What You Do When You're Expecting, where she plays the most unconvincing photographer ever. She's brutal in that. And Jiggly, one of the biggest disasters of all time. And finally, Boy Next Door. That has to be, I think, the worst Jennifer Lopez movie ever made. It was kind of like that. Remember the movie Fear with Mark Wahlberg? Yeah.
The worst. Gordon, I wholeheartedly agree with you.